Hey everyone, so you're looking for a dog trainer here in Wylie, Texas? Well, you're in exactly the right spot. We're about to walk through everything you'll need to know to find the perfect fit for you and your best friend.
So here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with what makes living with a dog in Wylie a little different. Then we'll get into the actual training methods and formats you'll see. After that, we'll talk about how to choose a great trainer, what to budget for it, and we'll wrap up with some local rules and awesome resources you'll want to know about.
All right, let's get right into it. Section 1. Wylie Dog Life. Why does local context even matter?
Living with a dog in Wylie really does mean navigating this growing mix of places. You've got your suburban parks, some really busy retail areas, and of course, all those family-friendly neighborhoods. A good trainer here gets that. They know your dog needs to be just as comfortable on a quiet trail as they are near all the activity on the main roads.
Really, the whole point of training is to prepare your dog for real life in Wylie. Think about it. You want to go for nice walks in Founders Park, right? Or maybe have them behave politely during one of the downtown events. The goal is just to have a dog that can confidently be by your side no matter what you're doing around town.
Okay, so how do we get there? Let's move on to Section 2, Training Methods and Formats. It's all about understanding your options.
Pretty much every reputable trainer today is going to talk about positive reinforcement. And what that means is using rewards, like treats or praise, to encourage the behaviors you want to see. It's not just about teaching sit or stay. It's really about building a strong, trusting bond with your dog. That's why it works so well.
So your first big choice is often between group classes and private sessions. Group classes, they're great for socialization and learning to work around other dogs and people. Plus, they're usually easier on the wallet. On the other hand, private sessions give you a totally customized plan. They're perfect for tackling specific issues right there in your home. But yeah, they do cost a bit more.
And there are other types of programs too. In-home training is exactly what it sounds like. The trainer comes to you to solve problems right where they happen, like barking at the door. Day training is where a trainer works with your dog during the day, which is super helpful. And then you have board and train programs, which are really intensive, immersive options for bigger training goals.
All right, that covers the what. Now for the who. Section 3. How to choose a trainer. Let's talk about vetting the professionals.
This is a big one. You need to know that the dog training industry isn't regulated by the state here in Texas. That means anyone can call themselves a dog trainer. So looking for recognized certifications is one of the best ways to verify that someone actually has the knowledge and is committed to professional standards.
So what should you look for? Well, here are some of the key certifications. Now I know, it's a lot of alphabet soup, right? But these really matter. Things like the CPD TKA or KPA CTP, they show a trainer has passed rigorous exams on things like learning theory, animal husbandry, and ethics. Some even require hands-on skill assessments. If you see one of these, it's a really good sign you're talking to a true professional. Okay, so when you actually start talking to trainers, you're going to want to have a few essential questions ready to go. Ask them about their methods, their credentials, how they'll customize a plan for your dog specifically, things like that. Their answers are going to tell you a whole lot about their approach and whether they're the right fit for you. Okay, time to talk about the practical side of things, the budget. Section 4 is all about what training costs here in the Wylie area. It's really an investment in having a great life with your dog, so let's see what that looks like.
Just to give you a ballpark figure, a single private lesson, usually about 60 to 90 minutes, is typically going to run somewhere between $100 and $180 here in the Wylie and Collin County area. It's a good number to keep in mind as a starting point.
And here's a look at some of the average cost for different kinds of services. You can see a puppy or group class series is usually pretty affordable, somewhere in the $140 to $280 range. But then you look at something like a board and train, and yeah, that's a much bigger investment. This should help you figure out what makes the most sense for your goals and your budget.
Finally, let's talk about Wylie's local rules and resources. Because once you start training, you'll need to know the rules of the road, so to speak, and find some great places to practice.
Okay, here are the key local rules to remember. First, leashes are required in all public areas. By law, you need to have your dog vaccinated for rabies. Also, keep in mind that excessive barking can be considered a nuisance, and the big one, your dog has to be under your control at all times when you're off your property. It's all about keeping everyone in the community safe and happy. All right, so with those rules covered, where can you actually put all this great training to use? Let's talk about the fun part.
Wylie has some fantastic spots. The Wylie Dog Park is obviously a great fenced-in area for working on off-leash stuff like recall. For practicing loose-leash walking, the trails over at Founders Park are perfect. And if you want to work on focus around more distractions, the shoreline trails at East Fork Park are an excellent choice.
So what does all this mean for you and your dog's life here in Wylie?
Ultimately, having a well-trained dog just makes everything easier and more fun, from having peaceful walks in Founders Park to just having friends over at your house. We really wish you the best in finding the right trainer. Putting in the effort now will pay off in so many ways, leaving you with an amazing companion who can happily and safely go with you just about anywhere in our great community.